Welcome back to your boys podcast YouTube channel. I don't really know how to hold this, so as you know, most of my videos are in my office, so this is kind of a different feel here. Hopefully it'll be a little bit more organic and wholesome. Not that my videos aren't of that degree. Sometimes they can be stiff. But yeah, we're in my living room. We're switching it up today. This video is going to be a little bit different from what I normally make. I'm still going to turn it into a podcast and a video on YouTube. But it's going to be more like a vlog style. So I'll just fill you guys in on what happened yesterday. Today is May 8th, 2022. Yesterday, I was chilling in my apartment and it was like noon, somewhere around noon. And I had gotten breakfast. I had gotten a late breakfast after I went up to run Norwalk, which is an event that I was a part of for Anytime Fitness Norwalk. We sponsored the event, so I had to be there. And it was a good time. But yeah, came home, got a late breakfast, and then I was just kind of chilling here. And I was like, you know, maybe I should check and see when this concert is that I was going to go to in May. And I couldn't remember the date. I felt like it was the second weekend of May or like the third weekend of May. And so I'm like, all right, I'm going to check up on this. And it turns out that it was May 7th was the date for the concert. So you have this rapper, Saba. I've done at least 2 music reactions from his songs on my YouTube channel. And I wouldn't say that I fell in love with him, but I really liked the project that he put out earlier this year on February 4th, I believe, called Few Good Things. I liked the whole album. I mean, back in February and then early March, I was listening to that album on repeat, and I would go from first track to last track. And so Saba kind of crept up on me this year as like a new artist that I really fuck with. The only song before A Few Good Things that I had heard of, before the album A Few Good Things, was Ziploc, which I think came out in 2021. And that's what kind of introduced me to him. And I really fucked with his style. And became, you know, more of, not just like a general fan, maybe more of a casual fan, I don't know. And so then when he put out his tour called the Back Home Tour, I saw that he was coming to the Granada, which is in Lawrence, Kansas, which is just a little over 3 hours from Indianola, Iowa. And I had been there before back in 2019 to see Earl Sweatshirt with my buddy Dakota Phillips. And so back in March when I saw that he was going on tour and he was coming to the Granada, I was like, shit, dude, I gotta go again. Like, cause it was a super cool venue, a super cool trip the first time that I went down. And so back in March, I purchased that ticket. And then, yeah, yesterday it was noon and I totally fucking forgot that it was May 7th. And so it's noon and I'm like, what do I do? Do I go down there or do I stay up here? Because I still had a few things throughout the day that I needed to get done for work. I needed to work out, you know, just things that I would normally do on the weekend. I'm kind of a weirdo. Like, I don't stop. It's not that I don't stop working on the weekend. I just kind of then fulfill or get some of the things done that I couldn't focus on throughout the week. And my cat is distracting the fuck out of me because he's playing with his mouse. You guys can probably hear that. Miller, dude, go somewhere else. Annoying. But yeah, so I was into this whole dilemma about, okay, do I go to the concert or do I stay in town? Because I had already bought the ticket. And so it was like 2 p.m. I went and I got my workout done. I'd already done my outdoor workout in the morning at the Run Norwalk. And so I finally decided, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go do it because I already paid for the ticket. It's only 3 hours. I can still get down there in time. Go do it. I don't often go to concerts. I don't often do these things by myself. I didn't have anybody to go with and I bought my own ticket because I like spending time with myself. And I don't think enough people can check their ego to go do things like that. They think that they have to be surrounded by people. Like, it was such a fun experience just to go by myself. So anyways, I decided to go, drove down there. I was listening to a podcast from Andy Frisella featuring Eric Greitens and DJ. Great podcast. That's besides the point, but I was listening to that podcast, just kind of get myself mentally prepped. It was beautiful weather in Indianola, but also down in Lawrence, and the entire time down there it was perfect weather, probably like somewhere in the 70s. There's a little bit of a breeze, a little bit of a wind. Pulled up, and the thing that I really like about Lawrence, Kansas is it reminds me a lot of Simpson here in Indianola. That's the college that I went to. The campus, like, I wasn't close to the campus in Lawrence, but it's a college town because the Kansas Jayhawks are located in Lawrence. And so there's like this main strip that you drive down, almost kind of like, say like a downtown Des Moines or whatever city. So you got your businesses, food places, and there's the Granada. And then behind the venue, you just have a bunch of side streets and people live on them. And a lot of the houses look like the older style houses that you would find in Indianola right off of Simpson campus. I know none of you are probably familiar with that, but I'm just trying to paint the picture. So parked two blocks down and got to the venue with probably like 9 minutes to spare before the doors opened. Went in there. Saba put on a great performance. He had 3 people that opened up for him, and I'm not entirely sure what their names are. I'll have to go find out who they are. But yeah, it sounded really good. I actually thoroughly enjoyed being by myself, and I'm just kind of looking at the crowd around me, and it's a bunch of younger college kids because I've already graduated at this point. I'm 25. And not to knock on any of them that were there, but they just kind of seemed like, I don't know, they had different priorities. One realization that I had is I just kept, like, all the girls that I saw that were at the concert, they were all, for the most part, I won't say all, but most of them were dressed very provocatively, just, I don't know, just kind of sluttish. And I don't care what you think of me, if you're going to get mad at me for, I'm not diminishing women for how they want to dress, but it's just kind of disgusting. And I don't know, maybe it's because I've grown and I've changed in my life, and I became religious last year, and I have different priorities, but like, that's not the type of girl that I want to be with, and it was kind of eye-opening because I guess I haven't been in a setting where that you see that many girls coming to a show and dressing that way. I hadn't seen that in a long time, and probably, I'm trying to think of like the last concert that I had been to that kind of resembled the atmosphere that I was in last night. It's been a while, but I definitely would have been younger the last time I went to a concert like that in that type of setting, and my mind would have been different. But I was just kind of like, I don't know. I was just kind of disgusted by it, and whatever. Again, you guys can hate on me if there's some feminists out there. I don't really care. I have my beliefs. I don't think women should dress that way. And it's just not attractive, in my opinion. I wouldn't want to be with a girl like that. That's just kind of like showcasing herself to the world. Like, hey, look at me, I'm available. But yeah, it was a great show, great performance by Saba. So what you're going to see, like right now I'm recording this podcast, like the audio version, and I'm recording the video. But once you get through that, you won't see it, obviously, if you're listening to it auditorily. But if you go to YouTube, after you get through the portion where I'm talking, you will see the videos that I recorded yesterday of the concert and the pictures that I got. So it'll kind of be a little bit of a vlog style, somewhat similar to what I did when I went out to Utah. I record myself talking, and then I would lump in like the footage and the pictures and all that after that was done. So yeah, but very, very good show. Very thoroughly impressed by Saba and then all the people that opened up for him. I'm glad that I went. And the biggest thing that I took away from it is, so the last time that I went down to the Granada in 2019 with Dakota, to see Earl Sweatshirt. That was it was April of 2019, and back then is when I was like kind of going in and out of a relationship that I've talked about on this channel and on my podcast before, the one that really damaged my mental health. And in, late into 2019, like the end of the year, is when I finally got myself to go to therapy. And so for me, like, especially going down to the Granada again and then driving home, you have 3 hours to think. And yeah, I was listening to podcasts and listening to music, but I really began to reflect, because it's been 3 years since I've been to that venue, and this time I went solo. And I'm thinking back to 3 years ago when Dakota and I went and what I was going through. And at that point in time, back in April of 2019, I didn't realize how many mental health issues I had, and I didn't realize by the relationship that I was in, how many problems it was causing for me. And so it was really interesting, man. And I don't want to like overhype this or anything, or like get too sentimental, but I'm so glad I went, because it served as a reflection period, because I often don't take the time to sit down and admit how far I've come. Like, even now to this day, like when I have struggles or whatever, or I'm going through a tough time and things aren't perfect, and that fucks with the perfectionism side of me. I get very discouraged and I'm very upset and stuff like that. I'm like, why can't I beat this shit? Why can't I beat perfectionism? And just by going down there last night to see this concert, and then thinking back, because the last time I was there was 3 years ago, I'm just like, holy shit, man, like, you're a completely different person. And 3 years is a very short period of time, in terms of the entirety of your life. Like, let's say you live to be 100 years old, which is possible for all of us if we take care of ourselves. 3 years is nothing. That's a small window of time, but like at the same time, because of how much I've changed, 3 years ago feels like forever. It feels like a millennium. It feels like a fucking decade. And so I don't know, that's the biggest takeaway that I had, is I was able to really sit back and think and be like, holy fuck, man, you've come a long way. You've changed a lot. Your discipline has increased. Just the trajectory of your life over the last 3 years has been very drastic and different. And everybody has that. Everybody has that sensation. You never really know where your life is going. And especially like in your early 20s, it's just such a confusing time, because you're just trying to figure yourself out. And so, not to blow this over any longer, I was going to make it really, really short and just do a different format for you guys, because it's Sunday, and I just like, hey, I'm just do this on a whim, change it up a little bit. But yeah, I'm so glad that I went, and I would encourage anybody to do things like that. Even though I've been down there before, it's still slightly out of my comfort zone, because I'm going by myself. I got to drive down there. It's 3 hours, and again, I figured out at noon yesterday that the concert was yesterday. So I just kind of scrambled and got things together and went down there, and I don't like doing things on a whim. I'm very structured to what I do, what my lifestyle is. I like routine, and so that was kind of a challenge for me, but it was really fun. I would encourage people to do shit like that if they have the opportunity. Take time to reflect, and just cut yourself some slack, man, because we're all going through different things. We all have different challenges and different circumstances that can really get to us and break us down at points. But all of us are very strong, considering what we've gone through for the last 2 years over the whole COVID bullshit, and just all the shit that's going on in the world. So, But anyways, that's the video. I don't really have anything else to say. I just wanted to kind of share my insights with you guys and how I felt yesterday. And on top of the things that were coming to mind, it was just so fun. They played, you'll see it later on in this video, but before Saba came out, they were playing Best Day Ever by Mac Miller, and I thought that was going to be the entrance for Saba to come out. And I was just so happy to hear that, man, because Mac Miller's my favorite artist, musician of all time. But I don't know. I just had so much fun. Like I obviously, if I'm gonna be by myself at a concert, I'm not gonna go down into the pit. I didn't want to get suffocated. I didn't want to fucking get contact high from all the people that were smoking weed. So I kind of, it's not a huge venue, but so it's kind of elevated a little bit. There's like a floor section, and you go down the stairs. There's like different tiers to it, and then in the back a little bit, there's like these two separate areas that you can stand on, but you get an elevated view, so you can actually see Saba and whoever is performing. And so I just kind of stood back there, so you can't really like get into it. But I just found myself headbanging a lot. It's not even headbanging music, but the bass and the instrumentals were super good. And then he performed, I forget the song, but it's off of A Few Good Things, and he had live instrumentation at the show last night. So there was this one guy, this black guy, that was playing a guitar, and he fucking wailed on a rap track, a hip hop track in that genre. So cool. Anyways, you guys will see the footage. I'm done here. I don't have any more explaining to do. Thank you guys so much for coming to the channel. If you're new to the channel, always like the video, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends. If you got something, if you enjoyed it, if it was entertaining, whatever, I just ask that you tell other people, that you share it wherever, social media. That's the best way for me to grow this thing organically and keep doing what I love doing. Eventually, this is going to be my profession. This is going to be like the thing that I focus on. You know, I've been doing it for the last 2 years, and I feel like I'm just getting started. You know, it takes a long time to get things running, but yeah, thank you guys. I love you guys. I will see you on the next video.
They're feeling sacrilege, so I pray for more vision to see through false opinions. I pray to understand the cost of living more than that of material, more in the light of the man, rather thought that's cynical and that love.
Then I learned it from the best, always dressing something fresh, looking for a little dime, big butt and nice chest. Yes, they heard I used to rock guests, but now I'm rocking clothes that ain't in the stores yet. Travel back in time, I'm in a vortex, try and make it work out, think I need more reps. Used to take a bus, now the board jets, cause kids got me buzzing like a fucking hornet. They say I got next, tell them that I got now. It's all Disney, boy, my family proud. Make them say L, make them say O. The hoes that tell me yes, the same ones that tell you no. Whoa, I ain't just an average Joe, way above the average flow. Boy, my life is most low. No matter where life takes me, find me with a smile. Soon to be happy, only laughing like a child. I never thought life would be this sweet. It got me cheesing from cheek to cheek. And I ain't gonna wait for nothing, cause that just ain't my style. Life couldn't get better. This gon' be the best day ever. If it ain't about a dream, then it ain't about me. Go a couple full weeks without a good night's sleep. Imagination, making musical creation. A journey that I'm facing, plus the paper that I'm chasing. Got me crazy after saying with the lanes I see you hating, but there's nothing that you changing. Thumbs up, I'm maintaining. No complaining when it's raining. I'll be in another zone. Move out my mother's home to a world to call my own. I ain't gonna play around no more. Find a difference from the ground and the floor. If you gotta fight, I'll be down for a war. Thumbs up, homie, I'll be sure. No matter where life takes me, find me with a smile. Be soon to be happy, only laughing like a child. I never thought life would be this sweet. It got me cheesing from cheek to cheek. And I ain't gonna wait for nothing, cause that just ain't my style. Life couldn't get better. This gon' be the best day ever. Y'all fuck with JID out here? Let me see them hands up! I know they gotta get some more, and we good, and we good, and we good. They just need to get some more, and we good, and we good, and we good. I know they look at the things that are getting it right. Been up some days and I've been up at night. I got the plane and I didn't look twice. Oh, for the simplest life. I'ma kill everything. Survival's good rhetoric, I could've been a beast. That big and deadly. We fight sacrificing the pressure of family that we watch suffer. I gotta live from up out of the gutter. I make a check and send that to my mother. They root for me like Ireland economic. Alright, loaded up the van, some of them. I got you next time we do this again. Don't trip. Had 0 to my name, so do it again. Said once we make 10 bands, we'll go. Let's go.